Hello, and welcome to the Art of Selling Online Courses. We are here to share winning strategies and secret hacks from top performers in the online course industry. My name is John Ainsworth, and today's guest is Liam Austin. Now, Liam's the co-founder of Entrepreneurs HQ and a virtual event strategist. He's launched over 15 virtual summits, dozens of quick workshops, and many more online events, as well as over 400 speakers who have been hosted while educating 100,000 plus business owners through his programs. So today we're going to be talking about summits, why they're amazing for building authority, how to use them for selling your courses, how to repurpose them as other content for selling, how to drive traffic to them, and more. Now, before we start learning from Liam, I want to mention our sponsor. And today's sponsor is my company, Data Driven Marketing. And we work with people who've already got a proven traffic source and either have courses or are interested in getting started with that and help them to drive a whole new revenue stream, massively increase the revenue they're making from it. The average of the clients that we're working with is about 5 times their revenue by implementing this strategic funnel optimization system into their business. So if you want to know how much difference that would make in your business, go to datadrivenmarketing.co/calculator and fill in the form, and it's going to give you details of how much more money you could make. My team will do a personalized report just for you. Liam, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, John, thanks very much for inviting me on.
Nice. So talk to us about summits. It sounds like you think summits are a big deal in the way forward. Why are they important? What's good about them?
Oh, God, where do I start with all of these different positive benefits? I mean, it's changed my life, right? Like, so I started off in the year 2000 working for a dating startup, an online dating startup. It sold to Match.com in 2004. I was just an employee there. I didn't get any shares, unfortunately, but that just inspired the whole online business in me. And I saw the connections being made and knew that's where I wanted to play. So I tried a lot of online businesses, trying to kick things off from, my own white labeled dating site back in 2000 through to travel websites and shopping directories, Amazon stores, being an affiliate for Amazon. And there were so many things that I tried that just didn't really take off. And it wasn't until I launched my first summit. It was just like a catapult, everything else kind of be little small wins along the way. And this just blew everything else out of the water. So that very first summit that we ran in 2015 was the LinkedIn Success Summit. We had 15,000 people registered to attend that. So 15,000 leads, coming into our business in the space of just over 2 months. And it was just before Christmas. And it was like Sarah and I, who's my co-founder of the business, it was our last chance before we kind of decided to go back to the 9-to-5 grind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
last go, and it really took off. I love it. Okay.
Yeah. Desperate times, right? So we put everything into it. We started from scratch with 0 and 15,000 leads. We sold just tickets to the summit, which was essentially recordings. So you get a digital product at the end of your summit. And we were selling that for $97. We sold 500 of them. So we made just over $50,000 US at the time in the space of, just over 2 months, which was a game changer for us. And since then, I've personally hosted over 15 summits and now helped hundreds of clients launch their own summits or other digital online events such as workshops, challenges, masterminds.
Nice. So what is it? So it had that huge impact for you, right? Why? What is it about them that's so good? Why did they work so well? What's some of the things that you get from that maybe you don't get from other, marketing systems?
Yeah, for sure. So what is a summit? And maybe I'll explain that briefly, and this will explain, I think, the benefits of it. But essentially, it's a conference, a multi-day conference, typically a multi-speaker event, which would typically, if we want to look at it, let's say 30 speakers across 3 to 5 days, all talking about one specific topic. So it's a conference that's happening online, and there's 30 speakers, 20 speakers, however many you decide to come. But we've seen some really good results around 30 speakers across 5 days. And we've done 10-day events, 40 speaker events, all the way down to half-day events. And so we've tested this quite rigorously to see the kind of conversion rates and profit revenue off the back end. And the speakers come on and they can do an interview. It can be a presentation. It can be a Q&A. It can be some keynote speakers. It can be a panel discussion. Like when it comes to a summit, I've got a list of different session types, and there's over 100 different session types you can pull together to create one of these summits. But typically, it can be pre-recorded, so you don't have to worry about any technical issues if things go wrong, if you're recording things live, if a speaker shows up late or what have you. It's recorded, and we're just releasing these episodes or sessions within the summit itself across the 3-day event. People can get free tickets to attend, which builds your email database. And then they can also purchase a VIP pass or an all-access pass to upgrade, to get recordings, as well as some additional bonuses. So in terms of the benefits, just to go through them briefly, and we can dive into whichever ones you like, but I see it as really 5 key benefits of hosting a virtual summit. Number 1 is the email list. Number 2 is the authority that it builds for you. You're seen as an expert in your niche. You get connections with influencers in your market who actually become partners for you. You're then generating revenue, right? Profit. And at the end of it, you've actually got a digital product that you can go and sell, not just at the event, but long afterwards. And I'll give you an example of that. We ran our first event back in 2015, and we're still making sales pretty much every week now for that event, the recordings and the associated bonuses.
Got it. All right, cool. So authority, email list, revenue that you get during it. What were the other 2?
Network of influencers. So your partners, and then the digital product that you can sell forever.
Got it. All right, cool. So let's dive into each of those then. So building up the authority, why is that better than, let's say, I mean, are there other things that you would normally compare it to? Because you may
Yeah, so typically like authority building things might be like authoring a book. Like you see those TV presenters come and bring on an expert. Oh, he was or she was the author of X, Y, and Z book. Well, similar to that, the host of an event, there's a lot of associated authority as someone who's bringing together and creating such a big collaboration conference. So it's like, 30 speakers, all some of the top experts in your niche gathering under one roof. And someone who's organizing that must have some pretty good connections and some influence to be able to make this happen. Those experts, the influencers in your market who already have a good relationship or existing branding and authority within the market, that's actually rubbed off onto you. So they're lending their credibility and associating that with you now. So the attendees, the people hearing about this event, they're seeing all these people that they know speaking at an event, and they're like, oh wow, who's pulling this together? Oh, okay, it's the host here. It might be you, John. They're like, I haven't heard of John before, but wow, like if these people have put their trust in John and are speaking at his event, then John's probably someone I should be paying attention to.
Got it. Okay, so the authority is partly from you're borrowing that authority from the other people, because these people may be somebody that they've heard of before, someone that they respect in the industry. And if you're interviewing them, then you must be at the right kind of level. You must know what you're talking about for them to have agreed to come and be interviewed by you and what have you. So that's kind of similar to a podcast, right? Because you're kind of interviewing experts and like borrowing their authority. I suppose it's very different to a podcast because you've got a different system of driving traffic to this and getting people in, and it's over multiple days.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk on that, because that's very interesting, right? Like it's all about like packaging. So, we're marketers, a lot of people listening, you're marketing, you're packaging up your programs, your services, your offering, you're positioning yourself as well as your own business, your brand in a way that's going to help more easily sell yourself to your market, right? And sell your products and services. So when you look at a summit, typically, like you can hear my accent, right? I'm Australian, John, got a British accent. So when we want to travel across to big conferences or summits in the US, it's a flight, right? It's thousands of dollars from Australia. Plus you've got the time spent away from your family, your friends, your business, because you're at a 3-day conference. It maybe takes you from Australia 2 days to get there and back, right? So you've lost 5 days, a week of work away from your family, sleeping in another bed. But then you've got hotel costs, you've got travel costs, you've got food costs, and you've got the entry ticket to the event, right? So when you think of a summit, it is thousands of dollars that you physically putting back, as well as like risking or losing by not spending time on your business. So when you're thinking about the value put towards or package within a summit, it is quite high. And you're offering this virtual summit for free. There's free tickets. People can attend for free. So it's super high value, which actually helps us to get the high conversion rates that we do. So when we're promoting a virtual summit, we're generating leads by giving away free tickets. And we're seeing anywhere between a 60 to 75% opt-in rate from traffic landing on that page. So super high, and that's because of the associated value of the summit and the way it's packaged.
Got it. All right, cool. So where are we at so far? So summits have got huge benefits in terms of you build the email list and you've got revenue and you build a list of influencers and you build the authority and the credibility. And it's like a huge advantage to the person attending because they get to hear all this content for free if they want to. And if they want to buy the package of the recordings, then that's still cheap, way, way cheaper than going and attending a conference and flying over, what have you. The bit I want to come dig into there then is how are you driving traffic? You said 60 to 75% sign up rate, which for anybody listening who doesn't know, that is enormously high. Like normal sign up rate, if you're doing ads to a landing page for someone to sign up for your free lead magnet, you're normally expecting to see about 30 to 40%. If you've got organic traffic from your website clicking through to a landing page, you're probably going to see about 40+%. So 60 to 75% is enormous. So how are you driving traffic to those pages for people to sign up?
Well, yeah, here's some of the secrets. We'll reveal it all on your show, John. But it's the way that it is packaged together, just using that phrase again, because it really takes a combination of the speakers, which lending you their authority, but they're also letting their own audience know that they're speaking at this event. So, hey, come along to John's Summit, and I'm speaking at it. I'm speaking on this topic, and I think you guys would love it. So hope to see you there. So they're sharing that out with their community, their followers, whether it's on YouTube or an email list. And those people come to the website, they check it out, and they're like, free ticket to a summit. Yep, I want in on that. There's 30 of the industry experts in here. It's like, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to be the only one missing out on this thing. This seems to be the gathering of all the industry influencers. I need to be there. So that's why we're seeing a 60 to 75% opt-in rate, because of why they land there. But it's also pre that. They're being recommended. They're being referred by someone that they trust, someone who they've been following. Maybe they're an author or a YouTube host or a podcast host that they're following. They decide, yes, do you know what? Like, John's given me some really good recommendations in the past. I'm going to, go check this out because I trust John. So I go and check out Liam's Summit, for instance, and there's all these industry influencers. It confirms this is something that I'm interested in, and it has the credibility, and it's that fear of missing out. So I'm entering my name, my email address, and I've got access to the content. I've got an invitation to the 3-day conference.
So who are those people who are sending the traffic? Is that the speakers mostly promoting out to their own audience? Yeah,
so typically we look at 5 different types of referral partners. And this is what we do inside our business is we look at, well, how can we get warm traffic? How can we get referrals, recommendations? Because they're more likely to buy, right? They're already feel inclined to pay attention because they've been referred by someone that they trust. So those are 5 different types when it comes to these virtual events. Speakers, sponsors, media, affiliates. So speakers, sponsors, media, affiliates, they're kind of like the JV partners, if you like. And then the 5th one here is your existing email subscribers. So existing email subscribers, when they subscribe for your event, and this goes for webinars as well, hey, why don't you bring along a friend? Like you're already probably in other groups or talk about this topic with friends, family, colleagues. Like, why not bring someone along? So we encourage our attendees or just any email subscriber really to share the event with their friends, family, colleagues, or out there on the the interwebs across social media and to any email list they may have for sending registrations to the event. So the rewards come in, typically the way I like to set it up is 3 sets of prizes. So if you send 2 people who sign up, you get a reward. 10 people, you get an extra reward. And then the 25 people, if you're able to refer 25 people to sign up to the event, then you get the third and ultimate prize for being a good referral partner. So those are the 5 people, 5 kind of areas that we want to really concentrate on to send us referrals.
Got it. Okay, cool. And so when you're reaching out and trying to connect with those kind of people, let's just choose one of them, like affiliates. Where are you finding those people?
Yeah, great. So hopefully you've got an existing network of partners that you build relationships with. For me, when I look at my business, right, I've hosted 15 summits, over 400 speakers. So this is just speakers, right? But they were speakers at past events, but now they're affiliates, right? They're partners, they're JV partners that I can reach out to and who'll promote me. So initially we built the relationship through, hey, come and speak on my stage. So summits, podcasts, that kind of thing is a great way to introduce yourself to people, invite people onto influencers in your market onto your stage. So I love that approach. And over time, you hopefully build a relationship with them, you're supporting each other, and you can reach out to them. Hey, I've got this new product launch coming up, this summit, this event, this workshop. Would you be willing to share it with your audience? So that's typically what we want to do. That's existing relationships that we've built over time. And I think the best way to really begin and introduce yourself to those relationships are via summits or podcasts.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so someone's figured out that yes, they like the idea of this. I think the summit's a good idea. They understand the idea of the ways that you can drive traffic to it. Got some ideas of like, how do you find those affiliates, for example. Let's now talk about how do you transition from you run the summit and you get a bunch of people attending. How do you make sales from it? What's the next step in order to actually make that revenue and sell your products?
Oh yeah, let's get into the funnel stuff. So all of that we've been talking about is traffic, but it's about how do we drive quality traffic, right? So quality traffic that's going to actually convert into the funnel. But we also want a high converting funnel. So 60-75% of people are opting in. They're giving you their email address. Now it's like, okay, well, what does the funnel look like from here? We can sell, the recordings, the VIP pass, the all access pass, typically anywhere between $47 to $97, and it goes up to like $297. Just like an event would happen in the real world, there's like super early bird ticket, there's early bird tickets, then there's the on the door price, if you like, and then it's a post event price where you can purchase, the recordings to the event. So the prices do increase anywhere from $47 all the way up to $297. So we've got a digital product that we can sell, and because someone's opted in for the free pass, the most likely conversion point that they're going to be interested in is the recordings of that exact same event. Hey, it's a 3-day event. There's 30 speakers. It's 20, 30 hours of my time. Can I really make all of those sessions across a 3-day period? Maybe I'd prefer to watch the recordings and watch it in my own time over the next 30 days or whatever it may be. So that's a really good conversion point where we're seeing anywhere between 3 to 15%, and we're seeing up to 20% conversion rates on the sale of that all access pass. So that would typically happen immediately after they opt in for the free ticket. They're given like a one-time upsell, if you like, to purchase that all access pass.
Got it. Do they get offered that again throughout the summit, or is that the main place where people are tending to buy is on that confirmation page?
Yeah, so this is interesting. I mean, the summit, what we're talking about now is like, well, how do we sell our existing course, right? And we're building an email list of people that are hot, right? They've already been recommended to us. They're warm, but now we need to nurture them and get them to know us. So they're spending time watching 20, 30 videos of us, or 20, 30 hours speaking. They're able to see our expertise, our knowledge. They know, like, and trust us now, and they're ready to buy. The easiest sell is the all access pass, right? The upgrade, $97. So that's a really easy sale. And we can then plug those people straight into our existing funnel to sell our course. Or anyone that doesn't buy, typically we do this post-event. If we can't get them to purchase the All Access Pass during the event, we then follow up with a funnel to sell them into our course. However, if they are buying, we can look at tapping in, and there's a few different ways to do this, which we can discuss. We can put them into a funnel to just tap on our existing funnel to sell our course off that purchase, or we can place different order bumps and upsells in that funnel directly.
Got it. Okay. So the first thing you're offering them straight away after they sign up for the free ticket, is it fast track? Is that what you call it? The All Access Pass?
The All Access Pass, yeah.
All Access Pass, got it. And then you might promote that again throughout the summit. Is that right? Do you keep promoting that All Access Pass throughout the summit?
Correct. Yeah. So anyone, like if we look at the different layers of the funnel, if you like, getting people in, there's the free ticket, then we want them to buy the All Access Pass. Once they've got the All Access Pass, then we want to, because that's at the $97 price, we want to sell them into something like a $500 or even up to a $2,000 digital product.
Got it. Okay, cool. And then after the summit, then you can put those people into your regular funnel, your regular email follow-up, email promotions, what have you, in order to sell whatever else you're offering as well. So your other courses, etc.
Yeah, that's right. Like you've now got a super hot list of people who know, like, and trust you, who are ready to buy. So we can just tap on that funnel, or we can look at creating some kind of masterclass, which summarizes a bit of a wrap up for the event. How can people find out more or continue this conversation or continue learning along this thread? Because the 3 days is over, right? There's a wrap up session that happens at the end. People want to continue. They don't want to miss out on that community that was built or the information that was being gathered. So we've given them opportunities almost immediately there in that wrap up session, which essentially positioned as a webinar, but we want to package it differently. Like we call it a masterclass or something like the wrap up session, or some kind of keynote speakers being involved, so we can really drum up momentum so we can increase our show up rates.
Got it. All right, cool. So let's say that you've gone all the way through this, right? You've run the summit, it's been successful, you've made sales with the All Access Pass, you now got people going into your regular funnel for selling the other courses that you've got, which is kind of your, most of our audience's main focus. Great. How else can you repurpose the content from the summit? What else can people do with that content?
Oh, great question. So I think you've got now 30 hours of content from some of the biggest influencers in your market, right? You want to leverage that as much as possible. So you've got videos with you and another influencer in the market conversing. Let's turn them into short reels, short clips for social media, for YouTube. So videos we're uploading. We can do paid ads. We're actually targeting the audience of that expert. So they're like, all right, there's a brand new audience we can now reach. We're targeting and associating this clip with the audience of the expert. And that expert's audience is now being introduced to you. Oh, who's John talking to? Oh, Liam. I hadn't heard of Liam before, but now there's me being able to reach some of your audience. And this is where I think the power of the summits and the partnerships and all of this really comes together, is we can leverage this not just during the event itself, but way after the event has ended. So we talked about video. Of course, you can pull out quotes to use across social media, images from social media as well. We can look at ebooks or even an actual book. I've seen people actually publish books in the physical form at the end of the event, like the top 30 experts reveal XYZ secrets, right? There's a few of them out there. We actually ended up creating a daily email ourselves where we had over 400 experts, influencers in the online marketing, online business space, provide us with some of their top marketing tactics. We actually decided to release each one of these tactics on a daily basis via email. Mm-hmm. And we had it written by the expert itself. So we had some of the, when you're talking about these 400 experts, influencers writing for us, we had some better writers, if you like, or influencers than Forbes or Entrepreneur, because we managed to do it in this summit format, which was super cool. And again, that's an authority builder, and it's an attractive marketing piece that people want to subscribe to. So then that email was actually repurposed across into a blog post, and there was a video clip associated with that, which normally we would host on YouTube. And then we've got the YouTube clip out there, which is getting views and followers and set up for SEO on the blog, but also on YouTube too.
Cool. Nice. Okay. Now, you mentioned earlier that you're making sales every week of stuff that you created in 2015. So how's that work? What's the system there?
Yeah, great. So a bit of our backstory, right? 2015, we launched our first summit. We made 50K. We're like, oh wow, this is amazing. But the event was over, right? The 3-day, I think it was a 5-day event. It was over. We're like, the traffic dwindled, the opt-ins and leads were declining, and the money, the revenue was decreasing too. Like, it pretty much stopped. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to have to do another event. So we launched another event 3 months later. We had 13,000 people to that. And then another event 3 months later, we had 22,000 people to that. And we pretty much ran one of these summits every 3 months. But it was in 2016 where we realized, like, okay, we're launching all the time. This is quite tiring every 3 months, but we've had over 100 speakers at our events. We've created all this content. We sold over 1,000 digital products after, our first few events. And we're thinking, well, like, there was so much demand and interest across such a short period of time. Like, typically the promotion window for a summit is 2 weeks prior to the beginning. So every 3 months, it was only a 2-week window where we were promoting. So what leaves that? Another 10 weeks of, well, no revenue coming in. And okay, we're supporting our affiliates and our partners. So we're getting some affiliate commission and revenue coming in. So it is a whole business model there in itself, but we're like, there must be more to it. So in 2016, in one of these gaps, we said, well, how about we repackage one of these old events and see if we can sell it? So we did what we called a flash sale, and we promoted the very first event, the LinkedIn Success Summit, out again. And of course, it sold. Great. Was this a fluke? Could we repeat this? We repackaged another event, sent out an email, it sold again. And so we realized that the information, the content that we were creating and providing across these 3 days was relevant for people like months and even years post the event. And it all comes down to the content and whether the content is still relevant, months or years into the future. And for a lot of the events, that was the case. So now we've actually created a methodology and a system for when we launch these events the first time. It's just the first launch. And the first launch is probably the worst launch you'll ever do. Even though you're getting 60, 75% opt-in rates, it's like trial and error. So we look back at the stats and we can see, okay, well, what are the conversion points? Where do we hit Liam's benchmarks for each of those milestones in terms of the conversion points? And if not, okay, let's go in there, let's tweak something, let's change something. And typically we know now what the big levers are that we need to change. So we bump up that conversion rate in the funnel and we can turn it evergreen. When we launched it the very first time, again, it's probably the worst launch you get, but you get an idea of, well, how much traffic, how much revenue you're generating from traffic per opt-in, per sale, customer lifetime value. And so you're understanding, well, what can we actually pay now for paid ads? So that's where we can go, okay, we've done our first launch. We can look at the numbers. We can see we can do this now for paid traffic. We've got this digital product that sold really well just a week ago. Why can't we just continue selling it? So that's essentially what we do now. We run the event for the first time. It's over for that first release. And you can think of this like a movie being released at the cinema, right? It's released for a few weeks at the cinema, and then it goes on to DVD or Netflix, and it's on demand, accessible for anyone, anytime they need it. And that's essentially what we do. We run the summit. We package it up as an all-access pass. It's now a digital product that people can purchase for $47, $97. But then post the event, yes, we can keep selling that digital product. That event that we recorded, we've got all the funnels, we've done all the hard work, right? We've built everything, like all the sales pages, all the copy, all the emails are done. Like we sold it the very first time we released it. The easy part is turning it evergreen. Let's continue selling this months and years in the future. And so that's what we've done with our 15 summits. And we've got a couple of dozen workshops out there now as well, like 90-minute workshops that are all evergreen, that generate traffic through Google or through our referral partners, paid ads as well, selling, like even though we created the content, the events years ago.
Nice. Okay, if someone's listened to this and they're like, okay, I get the overall idea, I like the idea of this, I want to do some more of this, where can people go to learn more about this?
Yeah, sure. So we've got a masterclass on this called virtualsummitclass.com. Well, yeah, if you go to that URL, virtualsummitclass.com, you can go there and see a training that I put on about how we generated $50,000 from that very first event. And you can see exactly what we did to create those 30 partnerships. And some of those partners, the speakers, the affiliates, are still partnering with us today, 6-7 years later. And some we've even gone into business with. So really deep relationships can form by following this type of system. And yeah, I reveal a lot of those things that we did, the steps that we took to organize one of these events so that you can do it for yourself.
Perfect. So virtualsummitclass.com, and we'll put the link in the show notes as well. Liam, thanks so much for this. This has been amazing, and really appreciate you sharing your wisdom around this. Sounds like a fascinating angle approach to take. Clearly worked brilliantly for you. Everybody listening, if you found this interview useful and you want to get future episodes, then please subscribe wherever you listened. And thanks very much for listening. And thanks, Liam, for coming on today.
Yeah, John, I love talking summits. It's been interesting talking with you. You really know your funnels as well. So some great questions. So thanks for bringing me on.